National Institute of Health estimates that about 80% of women will develop uterine fibroids at some point during their lives. And for those who do experience symptoms, they might not be able to connect the disease to the symptoms. So Fibroid Awareness Month is in July, and we are now joined by Dr. Suzanne Slonim, Medical Director of the Fibroid Institute of Dallas. She's going to break down kind of what this means, what to look out for. So thank you so much for joining us, first of all.
Thank you for having me, Megan.
Absolutely. So why don't we start off with what is a fibroid? What should you look out for?
Fibroids are non-cancerous tumors in the uterus. So right there, just women. Only women have them.
Yes.
Okay. They're made of muscle and fibrous tissue, and they are very, very common, and they cause lots of symptoms. Like you said before, about 80% of women have them, but only 20% have symptoms from them. So a lot of women don't know that they have them until they've grown big enough to cause problems.
And I think that those problems show up in different ways. So a lot of people might either misdiagnose themselves via internet, Googling
Absolutely.
whatever they're doing.
Absolutely.
Or even, if they go to like an urgent care, maybe they think it's a stomach ache. I mean, what should people do and how should they be flagged to say, okay, this is a problem?
Right. The issue is that women suffer with menstrual symptoms all the time. Women are really tough. And so the symptoms from fibroids mimic those of normal menstruation. Heavy bleeding, cramping pain, urinary frequency, constipation, bloating, pain during sex, all those things that sometimes happen anyway, and women are taught to just tough it out. They can be signs of fibroids. And so you need to look out for them. And if you think they're worse than they should be, especially talk to your gynecologist about it.
Okay, so let's talk about treatment options here, because I think in the past, there was like this hysterectomy that you could possibly get to treat this. Is that the only option people have?
That is my main goal, is to let women know that that is not the only option. There are lots of treatment options for the symptoms of fibroids. Hysterectomy is the most invasive one. It's the one that is absolutely sure that you're never going to have a problem with it again.
Sure.
But there's less invasive ones, ranging from some medications, birth control pills sometimes can regulate the symptoms. Endometrial ablation sometimes can regulate the symptoms. Uterine fibroid embolization, which is the procedure that I do, blocks the blood flow to the fibroids, and so they die and shrink, and 90% of the time that takes care of the symptoms. There's also myomectomy, which is surgery to take the fibroids out and leave the uterus in place, which is a great option for women who are trying to get pregnant. So there's lots of different ways that they can be treated.
And especially in our area, I will just shout out Dr. Slonim here, that she is one of the top doctors that treats these. So I think one thing I want to mention that you make sure to talk about and share is that this disproportionately affects certain people in the population. Can you talk about who should be on the lookout? So
women of color are much more common than white women to have fibroids. In fact, about, like I said, 80% of women, 80% of black women have fibroids. And as they age, it can get up to 70% in white women. But so it's black women are most likely, then Hispanic, then white, then Asian. So it depends what race you are. And I'll tell you also that heavy women are more likely to have fibroids because they make more estrogen in the fat cells. So heavy women and black women are the most likely.
Absolutely, and those communities definitely will come together and support each other. And so for people that want to get involved in different organizations or outreach or just in general awareness of fibroids, I mean, what are your suggestions to them?
So with Fibroid Awareness Month, we are trying to destigmatize conversations about fibroids. Talk to your friends, talk to your coworkers, your family about fibroids, and we've got a campaign going on. The city of Dallas has been wonderful in their support. We're doing a feminine hygiene supply drive. There's a self-care fair going on. The Dallas Wings are also promoting Fibroid Awareness Month. There's lots of ways to get involved. The self-care fair is July 29th.
Yeah.
And the city of Dallas has put collection boxes for period product supply drive in all the libraries and the recreation centers. So you should be able to see it and come on out to the fair and talk to your friends. Talk to your friends about fibroids if you have fibroid symptoms.
Yeah, and you know what I really love that I just thought of right now, and I'm sure you preach this all the time, Dr. Slonim, but it's the fact that I think what we want to talk about is so scared to be talked about, right? My period symptoms. I feel like I'm scared to say, oh, I have this or I have this. So that conversation gets blocked from the start. So the more we share, the more we can understand ourselves and better treat our symptoms.
Absolutely, that's the key.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it. And, you know, this is just such a great cause. So I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.